Okay, guys, we are going to start adding and subtracting fractions. And last year, I know you added and subtracted fractions with like denominators, which means your denominator had the same number. We are growing to unlike denominators. So let's just jump in and get started. Hillary is making a tote bag for her friend. She uses 1/2 yards of blue fabric and 1/2 yard of red fabric. How much fabric does Hillary use? All right, what you need to have out, and I told you that you needed the fraction tiles or the fraction bars. I don't care which one you use, whatever works, whatever you want to grab. So it says when you do this, we need to add together. And when you do fractions with the fraction bar, you always have a whole one out because that's kind of what you're working with. So it said we're adding these two together, 1/2 and 1/4. And we want to know what the total is. Well, here's a common mistake that all kids make because we're so used to adding like denominators that, well, when you add, you just add straight across. So 1 plus 1 is 2, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So that means 2 6. Except for when I show you what the tiles of 2 6 look like, you ask yourself, is that equal? Is that equivalent? No, not even close. So what we have to do is we have to find that like denominator. So we have to experiment with what denominator or what fraction tiles equal the same thing as 1/2 plus 1/4. Well, I tried a third. No, I'm short. I could try a half, so that'd be way too much. So now I'm just going to go down my fraction tiles and try a fourth. Oh, look what I found out. 3/4. Now my denominator is exactly the same. It's a fourth. And that is equivalent to 1/2 plus 1/4 is equivalent to 3/4. Well, so we know on our paper that she used 3/4. And I hope so what did we do? We did 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4 equaled 3/4. So we know it's 3/4. So how did we do it? We demonstrated it by doing exactly laying them out. So I think you're going to start seeing a pattern if you keep going through these steps. So let's see what they say. Here's our steps. Okay, guys, we're using the fraction strips again. And this time we want to add 3/5 plus 1/2. So let's get rid of the fours. Put 3/5 up here. Oh, I know my answer is going to be greater than a whole because it exceeds the whole. So when I add these together, I still have to find something that is equivalent to it because I don't have like denominators. I have to get like denominators to add or subtract fractions. So right away I'm going to try my halves, but I know 2 halves isn't going to work because that's more than a whole. This is. What about my thirds? 1/3 plus 1/3. I lost one of my thirds. Sorry, guys. Plus a third. No, because if I added another third, it'd be way past. What about fourths? Well, 4/4 is a whole, but if I add another one on to the end, it's going to be way over. So it's not a fourth. What about a fifth? So does 2/5 fit underneath there? No, I'm going to be over again. Fifths don't work. What about 6? No, because I know 3/6 is equivalent to 1/2, so that won't equal it. Ace. Now let's try it out, experiment with them. Ooh, 4/8 is equivalent to 1/2, so another 4/8 would be a half. Let me see. God, will an 1/8 fit in there? No, it hangs over, so that won't work. How about tenths? Can I get the tenths in there? Ooh. Well, that worked to do that. Let's see if I can get this to work. Ooh. If I know 2 tenths go under each fifth, something tells me this is going to work. Are they equivalent? Exactly. But now, how many tenths do we have? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 tenths is equivalent to 1/2 plus 3/5. So 3/5 equals what? Well, look here. 3/5 was equivalent to what? 6 tenths. And 1/2 was equivalent to 4 tenths, or 5 tenths. So 6 tenths plus 5 tenths equals 11 tenths, or that's an improper fraction. We can't leave it like that, or we could, but I want you to make it a proper because it says to make your simplest form. So 10 goes into 11 one whole time. So 11 subtracted by 10 over 10, and I get 1/10 left, so it's 1 1/10. All right, so what I want you to do is use the fraction strips. What did these change into to be equivalent? So 1/2 is equivalent to what equaled underneath all those with a common denominator. Please keep using the fraction strips until you get it figured out. There's something here that we want to figure out what we're noticing. Do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do all of those on that page, please. We'll skip this page. Do all the evens on this page except for 12. Use the fraction strips. Show me what you are changing it to. I want to see all that work. And do 1 or 2 and all of the bottom.